movement. Again, 747, 24/7, 361 degrees. Now, if you don't know anything about the Codex or about the Messiah Code, I'll talk to you about it, what it represents, or what it is. I share with y'all, the system that I'm divinating from. I'll share with y'all the system that I'm actually divinating from. All right. Now, it's a system that flows between 1 and 31. Again, the system represents your birth dates, or what we call log dates, or what we call a pulse reality cognitive function. All right. Now, I know that sounds like a long name, but I will break that down in reference to what a pulse reality cognitive function is. All right, in reference to what why is it associated with your birthday, and why we call your birthday a pulse reality cognitive function. All right, it literally represents when you came in space and time. That's what we call your log date, like when you logged in space and time. All right, but it goes deeper than that when we talk about how your log date is actually a pulse reality cognitive function. All right, the reason why we say it like that, because it's literally a pulse. Like, you start off from your heart. Like, every being was created from their heart. So even when you was just entering the womb of your mother, you still had a heartbeat or a pulse. So literally, it was a resonation of a rhythm or a beat that you roll with or that you move with, even at that point in time, even before you came into reality. So as you came into this reality, as you came into existence, what you got to realize is this: it was almost like a double dutch, like rhythm. Like, let's say it's a song that people like, or a song that people associated with, that keeps on being remixed over and over and over again. And that's what type of being that you are. Some of us are beings that have been remixed all over again, like songs that have been played over and over again with a different fine tune, with a different remix tune to it. And that's how I want you to think about the rhythm of life and how you came into this world. It's literally almost like that in essence, because if you think about it, you know what I'm saying? How I say a pulse reality cognitive function is because, again, you start off from your heartbeat. Your heart is moving, beating at a certain rhythm. So if it's beating at a certain rhythm, you dancing at a certain rhythm. And when it enters the womb, it has to come in at a certain rhythm at a certain time. It's all a frequency of thought, literally. So that really, it literally goes back to your zip drive before you came into this world. Literally, when you zip yourself up, or when you compartmentalize everything that you knew in the universe to actually become the being that you are today. Now, I tell people this again. I say that your being is actually a new being. You know what I'm saying? It's deep when I say that your being is actually a new being, for people to get that. You know what I'm saying? Like, new being. Yeah, you all are new beings right now. We all are new beings. Like, we're new beings. We're becoming new when you're in this, in reference to the Codex. All right. So when you came into this existence, you're actually a new being. You sprouted up to be who you are today as a new being. All right. In reference to your existence, you are one of a kind. You are unique. But the essence of what you are, you have actually, scraped and took different parts that you needed to become what you are today, or what you manifested to be. You also grabbed certain parts of what you needed from the universe to become something. So that's important to know in reference to this codex also. Peace to everybody that's supporting in the watch party. Peace to everybody that's supporting in the live stream. I really appreciate the support. Definitely. Now, for everybody that's committed to the 90-day water fast, let me say this, and I'm gonna say this real quick. for the people that's committed to the 90-day water fast. Now, the first meal I think is the easiest meal. All right, I think the first meal is the easiest meal. Yeah, yeah. I think the first meal is the easiest meal, y'all. Okay, in reference to the 90-day water fast. But I'm gonna say this: the last meal is the hardest meal because people have not figured that one out. Now we need more women in the movement to actually suggest certain things. I can tell you what I eat, but what I eat may not be what you eat. All right. If we have different women talking about far as natural menus, far as meals not that are non-processed meals that we can eat, that would be cool, man. I would appreciate that we can get more participation from the family on that. All right, because I really don't want to dictate nobody's diet. All right, but I want to tell y'all it's certain things that we should do as the last portion of the 90-day water fast, or the last portion of your diet, what people should be in tune with. All right, so now I have a book. I was planning, I was planning to actually drop this book pretty soon. I wanted to drop it probably today or tomorrow. I'm almost done it. All right, the 90-day water fast. I actually have a pamphlet, a small pamphlet that's associated with the 90-day water fast, and I want people to understand certain things of what it actually means. Like for instance, like the 90-day water fast, you got four different types of disciplines, like the four synoptic gospels, or the four canoptic jars when it comes to Horus, with the four canoptic jars which held the vital organs. Also deals with the four primes. Also deals with the four corners of the earth, and also deals with the 141. So you have four disciplines in reference to the 90-day water fast. All right, so let me break that down. Now, the four disciplines that are associated with the 90-day water fast is: one is the return, the rejuvenating, the fulfilling, and also the sustaining. All right, these are four disciplines that people should understand. Now, I would think if you're watching this video right now, you should write this down. You should write this down. Now, I will share this more in amongst the community, and also this will be in the book, the 90-day water fast. All right, but I'm gonna tell you the four disciplines that are associated with the 90-day water fast are the returning, the rejuvenating, the fulfilling, and the sustaining. All right, those are the four disciplines that are associated. Now, discipline deals with disciple. All right, you already know, and in reference to us being a codex, or the family that deals with the tree, because the codex deals with the trunk of the tree. In essence, the what the meaning of codex is, the trunk of the tree of the Messiah, or in reference to what leads back to the root or the route of the Messiahs. This is one thing that we do, and this is having discipline, y'all. All right, you got to have discipline in this 90-day water fast. It's not going to be easy, because you know what? Your ego going to get involved. You know how your ego going to get involved? Your ego is going to get involved because you're going to be like, man, look, man. Ain't nobody watching you but you. That's the funny thing about it. Ain't nobody watching you but you. And your ego might tell you, you know, man, you know what? I don't really gotta do this, or or I don't gotta do this. You really right. You don't gotta do it. But imagine if you commit yourself to something that you never been committed to before. You say, really? I did some stuff like this before, Lamel. You haven't did this in particular. So try this. Try this in essence and see what it brings you and see what it gives you. You know what I'm saying? It's definitely going to benefit you, because it has holistic health benefits to it. Everything that's associated with this 90-day water fast essentially deals with health, with your spirit, mind, and body. All right. So why wouldn't you want to be committed to something? And then if you say you big and bad and you been through like you're the military person of spiritual discipline, well try this one. I'm gonna tell you, it's not easy as what you think it is. It's really is not. All right, so now let me go over the rules of the 90-day water fast again so people will know it. So people will know the rules of the 90-day water fast so we don't get it twisted. And I'm going to tell you the hardest part of the 90-day water fast is not the first meal. The first meal is not the hardest part of the 90-day water fast. The hardest part of the 90-day water fast is the last meal. It's the last meal because that's your favorite meal of the day. That's the meal that rock-a-bye, baby. That's the meal that actually puts you to sleep. All right. So, and that actually programs your body and your mind for what the next day is to be. So what I'm telling y'all is in this 90-day water fast, it's certain things that we do not do. That's we do not associate ourselves with a processed meal at our 2 hours before we go to sleep. Now, if you have the fulfilling meal, which can consist of 2 to 3 meals, 2 to 3 small meals, because you have the first meal, which actually isn't a meal, it's actually called a measure, which is called the returning. The returning, which is actually one measure. That's 8 to 10 ounces of water. That's before you even start your day. That's what you drink, 8 to 10 ounces of water. And you say ashe. You give it back to the earth. And you give reference to the universe from which you came. All right, that's the returning. All right. Then the next one is the rejuvenating. Now the rejuvenating is your first meal that consists of 9 attributes. Now you have to get the book to understand what the 9 attributes of the first meal, which is the rejuvenating, are. I'm not going to explain that on this video, but it will be explained in the book. All right. But the first meal, and then the book is going to be for free. All right, for anybody that cares to know, am I going to sell the book? No, I'm not going to sell the book. I'm going to give it to all of y'all. If all of y'all inquire for the book, I will give you the book, The 90-Day Water Fast. But I'm going to break it down in essence to the second part of it. The second discipline is the rejuvenating. Now, the rejuvenating, you have to know how to rejuvenate. All right, or know what rejuvenation is all about. So the rejuvenation part of the 90-day water fast, or the second discipline, because the first discipline so happens to be the returning. Hopefully y'all listening. Hopefully y'all paying attention too. The first discipline so happens to be the returning. You know what I'm saying? And we've been doing this for 4 years. For 4 years, we've been doing this as a family, far as the Messiah Code movement. All right, but like I said, the first meal is not really a meal; it's a measure of 8 to 10 ounces of water. So that's one measure. That's the returning. That's the returning. And then the second discipline so happens to be the rejuvenating, which is the first meal, all right, which is consist of 9 attributes, all right, and I'll explain the nine attributes later in the book also. Now we'll go on to the third discipline. Now the third discipline so happens to be the fulfilling. Now the fulfilling, this is the meals that you eat in your day. You know what I'm saying? That's your regular meal, the stuff that you like to eat, but not and more so sugar. You're eliminating sugar from your diet. Anything that isn't natural sugar, and I'm not saying go get honey or sugar cane. That is eliminated also. Do not get honey or do not get sugar cane. It's eliminated also. No sugar at all. All right, unless it's coming from a vegetable or a fruit from the succulence of it. Period. Now, for the people that want to make different things. Now, far as French toast, eggs, I don't care about all that. It doesn't matter what you do. That you can eat that during the fulfilling. Now, the fulfilling comes in. It has 2 faces. All right. That's what I want to let y'all know also. The fulfilling, which is the third discipline of the 90-day water fast, has 2 faces to it. All right, and now the 2 faces to it is what you have to know is what is healthy and what is not healthy to eat for you, what you should and what you should not eat, and these are the 2 faces that are I would say they're the faces that you come to the mirror with, because some things that you eat, it has a beautiful face, but it comes to bite you later. And some things that you eat have an ugly face or has a bitter taste to it. It doesn't really taste too good, but it has a really good, you know, result to it if you commit yourself to it. So that's something that you got to understand with the fulfilling, which is the second meal, which has two phases to it. All right, which comes after eating the fruit, which is the first meal, which consists of 9 attributes. All right. So then again, the last meal so happens to be the sustaining. Now, if you want to know what the sustaining is all about, the sustaining is very simple and very clear. The sustaining, I told people, is this: that you eat a non-processed meal. It's like almost how you begin is how you end. Because more or less, you start your day off with fruit, yes, but you end your day off with a vegetable or fruit. It doesn't matter. It depends on you. You know what I'm saying? But more or less, I would suggest, blend the two. Not blend it, but more or less, put both together. So, you can have something, that's of a variety that your body's taking in, of fruits and vegetables in reference to your last meal. But it has to be a non-processed meal, something that you don't cook. Rice cannot be your last meal. Bread cannot be your last meal. Cooked potatoes cannot be your last meal. What other stuff that people like, you know, that cannot be your last meal? You know what I'm saying? It's other stuff that cannot be your last meal, and that's something that people need to pay attention to. All right, it has to be a non-processed meal, something that you don't have to cook. Now, if you say for real, I don't have to cook it, yeah. If you don't have to cook that meal, then that meal is actually the meal that you need. Now, me, I do different things with how I do my last meals. Now, I told people also raw fish could be the last meal. Now, if you do raw fish, I would suggest buy fish from the store that has not been frozen, that has not ever been frozen. That's a good quality of fish to use in reference to your dieting in the 90-day water fast. My fault. Yeah, in reference to your dieting in the 90-day water fast. Raw fish is a good look. Now, some women can't eat raw fish like that. I get that. I'm not suggesting to do that. That's not for you. I tell people what I do. But in general, you know the rules of the game, which is a non-processed meal, real basic. All right. If you have to cook it, then that it is something that you shouldn't really it's something that you shouldn't really partake as your last meal. Shout out to everybody in the watch party. Shout out to everybody on the Facebook, on the YouTube watching right now. Put something in the comment section. All right, let's get this party popping again. Now, I tell people again, you got to be dedicated to some things, man. If you're not going to be dedicated to anything, be dedicated to something, which is yourself. Now, you got a whole bunch of people, more or less, that's giving you good energy when it comes to this 90-day water fast, because they got your back on here. They got your back. They want you to live well. They want you to have the best things in life and to grow and become something greater with the energy that permits itself from this 90-day water fast. Now, I broke it down. I told y'all the 90-day water fast, it comes in 4 disciplines. As being a part of the Messiah Code, or as being a Messiah, learning how to fast is one of the things to understand too. Now, I brought people to a codex in reference to fasting. I told people that fasting is almost like the 616. Now, if you go into Matthew 616, also Daniel chapter 616, or in Judges chapter 16 verse 6, they all connect with the same realm of thought of tapping into someone's power, of when somebody is trying to see what's the power in you? And I told people again that this is called the lion's den that we are coming out of in these days and times. So hopefully, people can learn to, get through the four disciplines. Again, it's the returning. The returning. Now, the returning, again, you have one measure when it comes to the returning, which is 8 to 10 ounces of water. That's what you start your day off with 8 to 10 ounces of water. That's the first thing that hits your belly. That's the first thing that hits your being, is the water. That way you understand that you're returning back to that. Because even in ancient Egypt, it's something that's referred to as noon, which is the primordial waters, which is literally, it's an ideograph that's almost, it's like the oldest ideograph that's in the Metal Neture. When you think about the Metal Neture, one of the oldest ideographs is noon, or noonet, or the feminine principle of noon. You know what I'm saying? So if you think about it, we're in the realm of noon right now, because the sun is setting on the age that we was living in, which was the age of Pisces, and we came into the age of information, which y'all regard to as the age of Aquarius. And it's not really the age of Aquarius, it's the age of information. So yeah, it's almost in that same light. So what I'm telling y'all in reference to this codex, it's very easy to tap into, knowing this, knowing how special and knowing how unique you are in this, knowing how great you are in this. You know what I'm saying? And the 90-day water fast is a part of that. It's a part of the discipline of the Messiah, of the body of the Messiah, because the Messiah really wants you to be literally hydrated. You know what I'm saying? Wants you to be, ready, for life in general, but connected with noon, or connected with water. And then also noon is the name for the whale. If you think about the whale that Jonah was in, it's called a noon. Go look up for the Hebrew word for noon, which is it means a whale. But also noon is the 14th letter of the Hebrew alphabet, or noon is also the 14th letter of the English alphabet. So noon represents the 1 and the 4, everything that derives or comes between the alpha and the delta, because that represents the 1 and the 4, everything that comes between the alpha and the delta. Noon, the number 14, or the 14 body parts of the Messiah that's coming back together as Sarah, or as Saru, or as Cyrus, or the same thing as the Quran chapters are called a Surah or Cyrus. The same thing. It's the same thing as the 14 body parts, or the 14 pieces associated with time that connects with Genesis chapter 1 verse 14. So these are the things that I want y'all to grip in reference to the Codex, and knowing how these associate with the pattern of numbers. And 14 and 13 and 31 are synonymous numbers in the square frequency of thought, because you got 169, which is 13, and 14, 196, and then you got 31, which is 961, all being born to 777, which is 21, which actually is 3, which is all 3 in 1. So that busts it all down. That's why I tell you it's a frequency of thought that people need to pay attention to. And what I'm sharing with y'all is the Codex. What I'm sharing with y'all is simply the Codex, period. It's straight up. It's the Codex. Peace to all the Messiahs. Peace to all the Messiahs. Put your water up, man. That's the hardest part, the last meal, man. The non-processed meal, which is the sustaining, or the sustainer. And it only comes in one principle. That's it. Peace to the primes. So, if there's any more questions, let me know. Thank you for everybody that's watching on the YouTube. Thank you for everybody that's watching on the Facebook. I really appreciate y'all. For what it's worth, I really appreciate y'all. You know, I know we got many things to do. I know we got many things to do. I want y'all to stay close to the movement. Stay close to the movement, please. Be committed to this 90-day water fast. Get through it. Trust me, the only one that's going to benefit from it is yourself. You're the only one that's going to benefit from it. You already know. Cool. Yatualo, yatualo, yatualo. That's what's up. Let me do this real quick. I got y'all. Let me go out with a bang. Coom. 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 Cool. Shout out to the Messiahs. Hold up, before I leave here, I got something I wanna share with y'all. Let's do this.